Hello there. So today what we're going to do is we are going to talk about color in Photoshop. And the panel I want to show you is the one I have selected up here, which is called Swatches. If you've got it behind the color panel here, it's called Swatches. And what Swatches allows you to do is it allows you to select a color that you might need to use. But before we get on to that, I just want to say, make sure you've gone and read all of the stuff about color theory that I've linked to you. So check out your units on StudyNet for this module. Make sure that you have read already the worksheets that are available and the stuff that's on there before you're watching this video, because you do need to know about color so that when you're using the color picking tools, you can pick the appropriate colors that you want to use. Now, this color theory stuff is going to be really useful to you. You're going to need it in future. Make sure you read at least the introduction, stuff about the color wheel and itens and everything else that's listed in the worksheet as well. You may even want to read the whole website because there's a lot of useful information in there, but it's not actually that much to read. It's just very condensed, very simply put information that should give you a good overview of color theory and how you're going to use colors. Now what we want to do is, just in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop in order to create colors and create your own palette of colors that you want to use. Now we can of course use our normal color picker to just come and grab colors that we want, but if I want to use this color consistently, I'm either going to have to remember these numbers for the red, green and blue values so that I can type them in every time I make that color, or I'm going to have to come and guess and get approximately this color without getting exactly this color. Now part of your next assignment is going to be to create a color set, a set of swatches for your website, a consistent theme that will be applied to all the elements in your website when you create the final web design. Now, if you're just randomly picking colors and you're saying, well, that's approximately the same color I just had, you see the things moved. It's not exactly the same color. That will be quite obvious when we put all of these things together. So what we want to do is we want to use this thing called swatches, where we can save colors and then use that exact color on a regular basis. It just creates a little square, which you can see up here, one of these squares. That will be whatever color we have selected. So now I've made this pink color here. I can actually save that pink color by clicking either in the gray area, just here, or clicking on the new icon at the bottom of this panel. And it'll pop up this window that says color swatch name. Now I give this a sensible color like light pink. That's my light pink color, and I can save that, and you see the little icon just appears right at the bottom here, just in this little icon, this little area here, below all of these what we call standard colors or default colors. Now we want to use that same pink every time, so that's what we would do. We would come over here and use swatches, and there would be probably between 4 and 6 colors that we would use for our entire website. Maybe not including black and white, but 4 to 6 colors should be plenty for our needs. More than that is going to cause us to have inconsistent color themes often, or just have things that don't quite look right. So that said, let me show you how to do this in a very quick and easy way. If you have opened an image that you like the colors of, so I've opened one of our itens here. Again, you should have seen this because you should have read the color theory and understand what this iten is all about now. What I do is if I come to my ink bottle tool, my eyedropper tool here, this one, I often call the pipette tool because it looks like a pipette. If I come and select a color here, you see this color wheel pops up, or this color circle, let's not call it a color wheel, color circle pops up. The color at the top of that circle is the color I'm about to pick, and the color at the bottom is the color I already have selected. So now if I let go of the mouse, I've got this green selected. We can see that over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click in the open gray space in my swatches panel here, and that will allow me to save this color. Let's call this one dark green, and I click OK. Then I'm going to do the same with another bunch of colors, so I'll do a light green as well. Using the eyedropper tool, click on the light green, click up here in the gray space, Call this light green. Easy peasy. Click OK. Do that again with another colour selected. So let's do a dark purple. Call that dark purple. Whoops. Dark purple. And save. OK. Next one, let's do a mid purple. So what's mid purple? That one's mid purple-ish, isn't it? Let's do that one. Mid purple. And then finally we'll do a light purple, which is really just a pink colour, but we'll do this pink colour and we'll call it light purple as well. Light purple. Now that's our selection of colours. So now I've picked these 5 colours that I want to use regularly throughout my document. That's grand. Now I've got these 5 colours, I'm going to use them for whatever I want to use them for. I'll have decided where those colours are going to be used, what's going to be used as a background, what's going to be used as a foreground, which is going to be the text colour, maybe including black and white as other colours, maybe one of the greens will be a highlight colour, whatever I've decided to do. Now, that's a great little collection of colours that I'm going to want to use regularly. And now I can just come over here, and every time I want one, all I have to do is come and pick one, and then I can paint with it. Grand. There we go. Now I have that colour, and I can use it. So just undo that with Control Z. I'm going to swap my colours back to black and white. Not that I need them to be black and white. But there you go. That is creating some swatches. Now what I want to do is I probably want to save these swatches so I can use them again in future. You can save swatches and load swatches that you've already saved using the little icon in the top right corner of this panel, which is a drop down menu. Now there's a huge amount in here. All of these ones from where it says ANPA colors all the way down to Windows, you don't need to worry about at all. What we want to worry about really is just this set of 5 here, which is reset swatches, load swatches, save swatches, and so on and so forth. Now, I could make my swatches slightly bigger, large thumbnails, and if I do that, it makes the colors easier to see, but it does mean that everything's a little bit more crowded. And really, I don't need all of these default colors. I only need the 5 I created. So what I want to do is I just want to delete a lot of these. Now to delete them, if I hold the Alt key on the keyboard and then click, you'll see, or you should see, that it, this has all crashed, isn't it? Oh no, is it working? Something's gone wrong. Oh no, it is working, right, cool, it just froze up for a moment there. If I hold the Alt key and then tap the mouse button a huge number of times, every time I click, it deletes one of these colors. Now, I feel like there should be an easier way of doing this, but I've never found it, so this is the way I do it. Hold Alt and just click on each of the colors you want to remove from your selection. Just click through and you will see it deletes it from the selection of colors. Let's go down to our 5 colors. There they are, our greens and our purples, all good. Now that's sorted, that's wonderful, that's exactly what I want to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save those swatches. Clicking on the drop down list, I come to Save Swatches. Now I'm going to pick where I want to save them. I want to put them, well, probably not in Adobe Photoshop presets color swatches, because I'll never find them again if I put them there. Instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a sensible place like my Visual Communications folder. Yeah, let's put them in the worksheet 4 for my 4th week. Now I've already got a file in here you can see, which is ACO, which is Adobe Color file. And I'm going to call this something sensible, not untitled swatches. Let's call it green, purple swatches. Now that's a sensible name. It's saving by default as a swatches ACO, Adobe Color file. Save that. Grand. Now what I can do is if I wanted to, when I reset my swatches back to something else maybe, yes, I'd like to replace the current swatches. Let's just bring this back to the small icons again so we can see it. Now, whenever you load up the computer, you will find that it goes back to the default swatches. So what you'll need to do is load your swatches again. That is as simple as it was to save, clicking on the drop down list, going to load swatches, and then going and finding that file where you saved it. So in my VisComs folder, in my worksheets, in worksheet 4. There it is, green, purple swatches. Load it, and it loads it onto the end here. Now it's loading it onto the end. So again, I may need to delete all my other swatches. I don't need to do that. I don't have to do that. I just need to be careful to make sure I only pick from these ones. You can use replace swatches and then load it, and that will actually replace the whole lot. Now I only have those 4 rather than having all the default ones in as well. Now that's really useful. That is how you create your own set of swatches that you can use throughout Photoshop in all of your documents that you use. Anything you're designing, anything you're creating can use these swatches here. And that's great. That's all I wanted to show you here really. Check out the next video. The next video is about picking colors from an image and finding the right colors using the color wheel on a website called Adobe Color.